Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and another battle report. In this one we're seeing an army we've not seen for a while actually. It is General Dan's Austrians and they will be taking on my French. Now the armies here have been selected for Under Eagles to Glory 3. They are 600 point armies, and these are examples of the armies that you can get for those points. So we are starting off with the Kaiserlichs, and the queen of the battlefield is the infantry. We've got 8 large battalions of infantry, no upgrades in for any of General Dan's troops except the Hussars. We'll come to those in a second. So we've got 8 large battalions of infantry, and then we've got the advance guard over here. We have some Jaegers, some rifle-armed skirmishers at the front there, and then we've got a large unit of Hussars who are veteran. There's a battery of 3-pounder guns attached to that brigade, so they've got a little bit of intrinsic fire support. Let me come over here to Le Gros Frere, the Cuirassiers, again another large regiment. He's got way too many models here. I'm going to ask him to take some off in a bit. But yeah, so here we go. That's these Austrians. We've got 2 large regiments of Cuirassiers. They're going to be very scary. We've got some large regiments of infantry, or battalions of infantry, I should say. And then we've got an advance guard over here. So a nice, rounded, balanced army there. I think this is going to be quite tough to deal with. And now we see their opponents, the French. And we've gone for a very similar infantry corps. We've gone for 8 battalions of infantry. Now, these are all medium-sized. There are 2 battalions of Légers in there, so that's a little bit of a change over what Dan's brought. We've got 2 brigades of cavalry at the front. We've got the Infernal Brigade, or what remains of it, the 4th and the 7th Hussars, and behind them we've got 2 regiments of veteran Cuirassiers. So they get an extra dice to their combat, and extra hand-to-hand dice, and they are reliable. Next time we've got a battery of 8-pounders. That's just a regular foot battery, and that's a French army at 600 points. Now I would say one of the upgrades I've taken that Dan hasn't is my cavalry commanders are strategy rating 8. My infantry generals are 7, and all of Dan's commanders, who are all over here, they are all 7. So I've gone for a little bit more command and control. Dan's gone for the numbers. Let's see which one wins out. So the French lost the roll-off to deploy first, and I've gone for a rather unusual deployment with my cavalry in the centre and my infantry on either flank. Now these guys you can see are in Lauder Mixed. We've got a heavy column there. Dan has basically mirrored my my setup with his 2 infantry battalions here. He's still got his Cuirassiers to put down, and his advance guard are going on the left flank here. I think those Jaegers might be heading for those trees, I have a feeling. So, which is a good place for them to go, to be honest. But these are deployments. Now, we are just doing the first scenario in the book here. Well, sort of. We're not having the central point. We're just going to straight up murder each other. That's the plan in this one. But yeah, so these are deployments. Dan, do you know where the Cuirassiers are going to go? Okay, well, we'll come back when the Cuirassiers are placed, and then we'll get ready for turn 1. Because Dan has absolutely 0 originality, he has copied my Cuirassier deployments by putting them in the centre of the battlefield. So we'll be having a cavalry off, perhaps.
It was the only place that had space for them.
Well, there is that as well. So we'll roll to see who gets to go first. There's no bonuses this, so it's just a straight roll. Dan gets a mighty 1. I get a mighty 4, so it's the forces of the Emperor have taken the first step. Now, I should say that these Saturday Night Leipzig dice trays and the French dice have been provided to us very kindly by the chaps up in Glasgow, so thank you very much for those. Dan's going to be using those as much as possible. I'm going to rely on my classic French dice, but we've also got an awesome, thank you Dan, we've also got an awesome bayonet measuring tool, which you can see is marked in inches. Now this is 12 inches, so that's good for an infantry battalion, but of course we are reducing everything by a third, because that's the Under Eagles of Glory pack. But as Dan points out, it makes it good for the cavalry. So that's the roll-off to you guys first. Let's see how the French get on. Well, the end of the first French turn, not a huge amount has happened. The brigade here moved 1 move. The cavalry was supposed to try and cover the artillery, but they only got a single move off. And that meant that that counts as a failed order in the Under Eagles to Glory pack. The Cuirassiers moved up to fill the gap, and the brigade on my right they move forward 1 move. So that is the end of French turn 1. I'm not in range for any shooting. So now it goes over to the Austrians. Gutted not to get this on camera, but thank you, Stuart. We've had the first blunder of the new dice, and it's done by General Dan as he was ordering these troops forward. So it makes a nice change. So let's see what they do then. Number 6, please. Oh, well, they turn around and run off the battlefield. All right. So it's not too bad, though. They'll be at -1 to bring on next turn. Just leave them there, Dan. But they can come on potentially next turn. So thank you very much for that, Stuart. You've actually given me a chance of winning this game. So thank you. So the first move for the Austrians was also a rather timid affair. I mean, it was the same as the French, really. They pushed forward here. The brigade... the regiment of 2 battalions going off the table there has rather put a spoiler in Dan's plans. Now, we've done something very interesting with the Krausiers here. We're using this cornfield as rough ground, and it means that units charging through it are going to lose their charge bonuses. Dan has set his Krausiers, he's set ready to charge, which means he can counter-charge if I were to charge, say, his infantry blocks there with my cavalry that's down here. So he set it up in such a way that he can charge me, avoiding the corn, but my Krausiers can't charge him without going through the corn. So good manoeuvring from Dan there, using the terrain to his advantage. Over here, the infantry are getting all a bit crammed. Unfortunately, because of the blunder from the advance guard commander, the Hussars have had to stay where they are. But I'm sure they're going to come into their own next turn. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come into their own next turn. So the first turn, there's not been any shooting. Nothing's happened. Everyone's just jockeying for position. Let's see how the French can do in turn 2, and hopefully see if they can start bringing the pain. So again, a rather cautious turn from the French. The light infantry moved 1 move forward, but they're still out of musket range of the Austrians. The commander tried to move this battalion into the village, but because he's so far away, there was a -1 penalty, and they didn't quite manage it. The Krausiers are in all sorts of bother. This regiment here is blocking these from moving through. So I moved them back again with a roll of 5. These strategy 8 commanders really coming in handy. These Krausiers are set to charge. They failed their order. And the battalions here, quite interestingly, this front one, the one that was here, have scurried into those woods, and they've been replaced by the battalion that was behind them. The artillery fired at the enemy behind that building over there. Rolled a 5, which was a hit, but they passed their save. So that's the end of French turn 2. Let's see what the Austrians have got. I think I was hoping to get the first blow. Let's see if the Austrians can get it, though. So we had some wild action on the Austrian right here as this battalion tried to charge the French into the woods. They failed the charge, but they managed to fire 1 shot and cause a casualty on the French. We are counting down on our markers. So down to 2, down to 1, and then X means that they are shaken. So I don't like it, but it's Dan's idea, so we're going with it. It feels like shaking hands with your left hand to me. I don't like it. Over here, the advance guard commander failed his order once again, so the rifles haven't been able to occupy that wood. The commander over here tried to charge the Legere on the hill, but unfortunately failed, which meant that those 2 battalions there, that regiment, they're still technically off the table. The Krausiers in the centre, they stayed ready to charge with the 2 infantry battalions next to him. Now in my turn, one of the big moves I'm going to try and make is these guys. They need 2 moves to charge the flank of that Austrian battalion that failed to charge into the woods. Let's just zoom in on them. Now they're going to be at -3 for this, because -1 for in the cornfield, and then they're going to need 2 moves. So they're not really -3, but they are going to need to roll a 5 or less to get the charge off. But first of all, I'm going to move over here. I'm going to order the 2 Legere battalions to move into range to fire at that infantry battalion there. Let's see how that goes. A 6, that's good. I'll be back after we've done this moving. He tried to order this column into the built-up area, rolling a 10. That was a fail. That means that this column here, they are still stuck out on the wing. I should really move at the end of the turn, but he's going to move over there to make it easier to order those guys next turn. So now we are coming over to the crucial part. That's why I'm filming this live. Is we're going to do these hussars. I'm going to go for it. They're going to try and charge that infantry battalion in the flank. So they need to do 2 moves. So my strategy rating is an 8. I don't need to worry about the distance because they're marauder. So it's normally an 8 or less. -1 because they're in difficult ground, so it's a 7 or less. I need 2 moves. This needs to be a 5 or less. Oh, I think that's going to be a reroll. It was looking like it was going to roll to a 5, but I did try. So let's see. It's a 6. Oh, I can't really complain too much because it was looking like it was going to be a 5 anyway. Now I do have my general C&C. Is it worth using here? I think it is. My general C&C? I mean my general's reroll. Let's see if I can get 6 or less. This time I get a 7, so it's even worse. It is still 1 move though. So I'm going to get to hang around with my bum in the air, which is not great. I'll be back after I've moved them. Now, under Eagles to Glory rules, because I didn't complete the order that I had ordered, that counts as a fail, and it means that I'm now showing my flank to those Cuirassiers. Now, the Hussars are a bit too far away to be covered by these Cuirassiers, so I'm going to try and move the Cuirassiers up to here, and then set them to charge. So again, this is going to be 2 orders. They are the command rating of 8, so I need a 6 or less. And I get a 4 this time, so that's potentially saved those hussars from a very sticky situation.
And the dice are mugging you off because that's what you need.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, and then he's going to order these Cuirassiers over here. It's going to be at -1 because he's quite a distance away from them. And he's going to order them to move forward to here and set to charge. He's rolled a 9, so that's too high. I've already used my general's reroll, so that's it from the cavalry commanders. Over here, now it's still not necessarily beyond the pale that I could charge with this infantry battalion, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them there because I can shoot at the enemy with my artillery and I can fire out of the woods at them as well. So I think I'm probably better off doing that than I am trying to engage them. I will shuffle my troops forward though. So I'm going to move just to here. On a 9, that would normally be good. These guys are at -1, these guys are at -1, so only this unit will move. And that counts as another failed order. So there we go. So that's it for the moving. We'll be back after the shooting phase. So we've concluded the firing. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Both of these battalions fired at the Austrians. They caused 1 casualty after saving throws, but they crucially disordered them. Over here on the left, the Austrians who charged down the hill, they took a casualty from the artillery and from the skirmishes in the woods. So we're going to see, we're just checking the rules because Dan's seeing what's happened with his battalion mass, but that's the end of the French turn. These guys did set to charge, as you saw, so I'm actually reasonably happy with where the French are at the moment. Over here, these units are looking a bit isolated. Luckily, I have disordered that infantry battalion there. If they were both still in action, I'd be very, very concerned about this flank. But as it is for this turn, I don't have to worry too much, and I've got more of a chance of bringing this column up. I might even issue a follow me order on that column, so let's see how that goes. But at the end of French turn 3, I think it's looking okay for the French. I'm not too disheartened yet. So Dan's absolutely big balling it here. He is going to charge. Follow me with this battalion. They're just soloing it against these Légers. So with it being a follow me order, he only needs to roll an 8 or less. Only. Arf. So here it comes. A 6, a mighty 6. And they're going to charge straight up and into the Légers, who are waiting for them with loaded muskets. So So we'll come back to that in the combat phase. So we've had the end of the Austrian shooting. They have taken another casualty and a disorder on the unit in the trees. The Cuirassiers took a bit of fire, but they managed to escape unscathed. And that's pretty much it, really. But we're over to the French right here, the Austrian left, and we're going straight into this combat here. So I've got some closing fire to do first. So I'm hitting on 3s. Gotta love that closing fire bonus. And they all hit, including a disorder, so that's big news. They're all saved, but they are disordered, and that is crucial. That means that the Austrians are -1 to hit, so it negates their charge bonus. But they do still have more dice than me, and they've got a better save. So let's see how they go on. They've got 8 dice normally, because they're a large battalion, +1 for the commander. So they've got 9 dice.
The commander's going to be the red one.
Okay, the commander's going to be the red one, and they're hitting on 4s.
Commander sucks, I can tell you that. That is 6
hits, not bad, not bad. So I've only got 6 attacks back in all, so these all have to hit to match. Oh, they had a good go. Showing they're not British, because they would have all hit. So 1 miss, so 5 hits back. So now it's saving throws. The Austrians are saving on a 3+.
3 go through.
Oh, cheeky! 3 of those go through, and for the Leger, 3 go through also. Now, that would be a draw if the French were not supported. Hurrah! So the French actually win that combat by 1, and it's a break test for the Austrians. No negative on this. That's a 6. Now, normally I would be able to follow up here, but I've taken 3 casualties. That battalion is shaken, so they can't follow up. They're actually going to remain where they are. So we'll reposition the models, and then we'll come back next turn. So the end of French turn 4. What I'm really enjoying about this game is not a huge amount has happened yet, just little bits here and there, but the pressure is definitely, I don't know if Dan's feeling it the same way as me.
It's that kind of, you're looking at little bits going, oh, this is going to happen, because it's so packed.
Yeah.
It then leads to further things. You're like,
I completely agree. It's like the pressure is building.
3 steps ahead and then watching the react. Like how you wanted to charge here.
Yep.
And then you have like the set to charges. And,
so it feels like like just before the thunder starts, and you feel like you can smell the ozone. It's almost like that. So these hussars, they charged the enemy unit here, forcing them into battalion mass. They were enfiladed as they went in, and that took 2 casualties and disordered them. So probably not worth it, to be honest. The French evacuated the woods. They did a disorderly retreat, which gave them another disorder, which comes off now. The artillery fired back. They caused a casualty. So again, chipping away. The cavalry in the centre, these guys set to charge. These guys are still set to charge. These failed their order. Over here on the French right, this front battalion of Austrians was disordered. That's absolutely massive. And this battalion that was here had a follow me order, and they moved up to completely order mixed over there. So again, it's the end of turn 4. The French haven't pulled up any big trees yet, but they're plugging away, and that's the important thing. So that's the end of French turn 4. Let's see what the Austrians have got in store. So another quiet turn from the Austrians. That was the end of Austrian turn 4. They did shake and disorder the hussars, so that's crucial. That's the first shaken unit of the battle. Over here, they fired back at the second shaking unit of the battle. They did fire at the troops over here, but because they're disordered, they didn't really cause any casualties. The Jaegers once again failed to get into the woods, but that's standard these days. And that's basically it. So that's all that happened really in Austrian turn 4. So it's now up to the French to seize the initiative and go into turn 5. Well, after many turns of not that much happening, the storm has finally broke, and the French have gone in. Here they have assaulted the village that's currently held by the Austrians, and finally the Cuirassiers have charged into each other. But not this regiment, not the one you might think, who are too far away to support, actually, now I think about it. But it was the one all the way back here who had a follow me order. to charge that infantry battalion, but they were intercepted by the Austrian Cuirassiers. Over here, the column that had moved up to form the end of the order mixed have swung round with another follow me order and charged the flank of that Austrian battalion. They took some crossing fire, but it was saved by their morale. So happy days. That's the end of the movement. We've done some shooting. Not a huge amount happened, apart from the fact that we shook that closed square there. And now it's on to the close combat. So I think we'll start with the boring one, Dan. First, I think we'll start with the assault on the village. I'm not feeling much going on here. Dan's got these 2 dice to attack.
Closing fire.
Oh yeah, sorry, closing fire. Yep, 2 shots. Yeah, no good. He's got his 2 attacks. But he does get +3 to his commands, to his combat res. So he gets 1 hit, which is saved. Fantastic. Now the Frenchies fight back. They get only 3 hits, and the Austrians are on a 2+ save. So it's not looking good for the French. Nope, it is. It is indeed not. And the French are pushed back. We should really do the pushback at the end of the combat phase, but we'll do it now. It doesn't really matter. So. Oh, sorry, yeah, I did lose the combat, so I do need to test. There you get pushback. They love it. So yeah, just straight up cheating there. Right, so now we come over to here. So we've got the attack in the Austrian flank. Now, the Austrians have 8 attacks, but they have to put 4 of them forward. So they only get 4 attacks, and they're at -1 to hit. So 4 attacks hitting on 5s. Gives me 2 hits, so pretty decent effort. 3 up save for the French column. Saves them both. Now they get their 6 attacks back, +1 for the General de Brigade. We got some encouragement coming on here, I like it. So 7 dice needing 3s. Ooh, not spectacular, but not bad, not bad. That's 4 hits. That was a hit. So it's 4+ saves for the Austrians, because they are attacked in the flank. So 1 goes through. And that means that combat is a draw, because the Austrians are actually supported. And the French are. Oh, but they are shaken, so the Austrians will test anyway. It's a 7 down to a 6, so they will fall back 2 moves. Oh no, he doesn't have any access, sorry. Yep, sorry. So it's a 7. The fight continues till next turn. Now we've got the main event. Cuirassier on Cuirassier action. Now, we've normally got 9 dice each, but we've got some more in the mix. So I've got 7, 8, 9. I do have my commander in there for an extra 1. So I roll 10 dice. Dan has 9 dice because he's Cuirassiers, but he gains an extra 2 because he is a large regiment. So because we're both charging, he countercharged. Oh, and he's veteran as well. Sorry, yeah. And I am also a veteran. I forgot about that. Thank you, Dan. So it's 3s to hit. I'm going to reroll that one. That was cocked. Oh, dear. Not great from the French.
10 for you, 10.
And only 5 back. Oh, dear. Dear, oh, dear. So 5 saves of 3+ for the Austrians.
Now this is where these French guys are going to do me over.
2 go through, and it's 10 saves of 3+ for the French. Good Lord alive. Only 2 go through. So, it's a draw on casualties. We now have the heavy cavalry D3 roll. Now this is going to be crucial because the Austrians are supported. So the D3 for the Cuirassiers. Oh, it's a 1. And for the French, it's a 3. So the French win the combat by 1. It's a test for the Cuirassiers at a 7. So they will fall back 1 full move. We're going to come back after we have put the casualty markers on and paid our weekly subs. So having me robbed for my 3 quid, I have decided that the Cuirassiers really have to follow up with the Austrians. That's because I'll be hitting on a 3, they'll be hitting back on a 4. But we're going to see the crucial thing, is General de Brigade, is he killed? Let's have a look. On a 6 he is. No, he's okay. So I'm going to move up and then we'll have another round of combat. So the French Cuirassiers have followed up. Now the Austrian Krasiers, unfortunately for me, they weren't shaken, so they're still hitting on a 4. They've still got an absolute bucket load of dice. So going down 4s to hit. That looks like a decentish roll, actually. Not as good as last time, or maybe it is as good as last time.
8.
Not quite as good as last time, but he only needs one of them to go through to shake my Krasiers. So let's see how this goes. 3 up save. See how that French power armor gets on. Not bad. 2 go through. So the French are attacking back. They've got their 9 dice. 9 dice, as the French would say. They have...
You want excess 1?
Yeah. They have a extra 1 for Herr General and an extra 1 for being veteran. And these are hitting on 3s. Let me see. That one has caught between my fingers. That one wasn't going to roll. Again, not a great roll for the Krasiers. Only 5 hits again, so very disappointing. But 2 of these need to go through to shake the Austrians, and 2 indeed do go through. So we've taken 2 casualties each. There are no supports this time, so this is purely down to the heavy cavalry roll. I did very well on this last time, so I can't complain. Let's see how I get on. They get a 2, it's average, I can't complain with that. Oh, and the Austrians get a 1 again. So it's a test at -1. No, it's not -1. But they are off the board and they are shaken. So that is, unfortunately, the end of those Krasiers. Now, because the brigade of Krasiers was only 2 units in size, the brigade can't be shaken, can't be broken. So the other regiment will carry on as normal. But a good result for the French there. They are disordered. They are shaken, but the commander's with them, so it's not necessarily the end of the world. They are actually going to move, in fact they're just going to reform where they are, because they can't actually move closer to the enemy. And even if they go towards the back of the board, they're technically going to be going closer to those guys. So I'm just going to reform in place, and they'll stay where they are.
I can't reform there because I'm 6.
You can do that in your movement phase. So because the... just going back over this turn, the flank here was a little bit disappointing, although we did shake the Austrians, so it's not necessarily the end of the world there. The Krasiers, destroying the Krasiers in the centre was big. I am shaken, but that's a situation that could change. The assault on the village was an absolute disaster. I'm not entirely surprised by that, and I did shake the guys over here. So, all in all, not a bad turn for the French, I don't think. As we go into the next Austrian turn, I'm disappointed with the French right over there, but we'll see how it goes for the Austrians. So we're at Austrian turn 5 shooting phase, and finally the Jaeger have got into the forest. So we'll start off with those guys. So they're shooting their rifles. They've got a sharpshooter, of course, and they're firing at the Leger in front of them. For a hit with a reroll. Hey! Well, they finally get their eye in their good shots. Oh, I'd say neither of them either, so that's quite scary. Now, in the movement phase, Dan did do, he again, you know, he likes to copy me. I get it. And he went for the follow me order with his Krasiers into the Hussars over here. Not really a huge amount else happened. These guys turned to face their combatants. The Austrians here formed a square so they can fire back at those Krasiers. And the Austrians over here, they occupied the trees. So that was the movement phase. We've had a little bit of shooting. We've got some more to come, I'm sure. So where's next, Dan?
We'll do this one.
Okay, so the square is going to fire. It can fire up to 2 shots per facing.
I'll fire 2 forwards at those.
Okay.
And then 2 back.
Okay, so the forward Krasiers, these ones here. It's a 6, so that's a disorder. It is saved, but they are disordered. And then this is the important one. The guys back here, they are at their stamina, so they take no hits. That's big. That's quite important.
Building.
Yep.
We'll fire 2 back at them.
Okay.
and then 2 into. I'm gonna say.
I would say they've been assaulted by the infantry. They're probably more concerned about them than anyone else. So against the Krasiers? Nope. Again, Dan could have done with a 6 there, just to get that disorder.
And then the 2 on the infantry.
Now there's that 6. That's what he wanted. It's a 3-up save. So 1 goes through, but more importantly, it means they can't be assaulted next turn because that battalion is disordered. So we'll pop that there. Pop the 6 on them, so we know that they can't do anything next turn.
From this battalion.
Yep, okie dokie. For a 5, that's a hit. And he goes through. So the Austrian fire's actually taking quite a bit of a toll on the French here. At least it wasn't disorder, but it's still a casualty.
And then
In the woods, yeah.
so I'm going to do how you decide. Does your objective to declare the challenge?
Yeah, I'd say probably two in each direction. Because there's quite a large facing, isn't there?
I'll go 2 for them and then 2
Okay,
for the artillery.
sounds good to me.
So on the line for 1.
For 1 hit, which is saved. Then the artillery is deployed, so they are at -1 to be hit. It makes a difference though, so they still take a hit, but it is saved. Phew, because they don't have much stamina, the old artillery. So that's the end of Austrian shooting. Could have been worse, but again, no, there was a lot of disorders and quite a few plinks off the guys. This one was very upsetting to be disordered and take 2 casualties. But we're going into the combat phase now. So where would you like to start the combat then?
Well, we'll get this one out of the way.
Okay, so you do have your full 8 attacks now because you are facing me, but you are shaken, so you're at -1 to hit. So you hit me on 5s. So 1 hit. I'm still in attack column because I won the last round of combat, so I save that. I've got 6 attacks back, and I'm hitting on 3s because I won my last round of combat. So that's 5 hits. Pretty good from the French this time. Oh, plus the commander. He hits as well, so 6 hits. That wasn't a reroll, it should have been an extra dice, really.
4 go
And
through.
4 of those go through.
4 excess.
So it's a test at -4. Well, we'll do that at the end, actually. So because we've got the combat here to do, haven't we? The Hussars und Krasiers. So I'm going to roll my dice first while Dan sorts out his horrifying number of dice. It's a lot easier for me. I've just got 6 dice with my Hussars. They are charging, so they need 3s to hit, and they are keen. They are French Hussars after all. So they are. Man for man, they are better than the Krasiers. That is true. So 5 hits from the Hussars, but the Austrians are.
Do the saves.
Okay, he's doing the saves first. 3 up for the Krasiers. 2 of those go through.
And then it's all the rest of your guys.
Now I'm getting all of my dice pool ready because I'm going to need a lot of saving throws.
9, large, veteran. The commander can be the bright green.
Oh, okay. Poisoned attacks from the commander.
Commander still sucks.
Yeah, the Austrian commanders are not fighty commanders, are they?
They definitely
So
are.
that was not great. That was French Krasier levels are rolling. So 7. So I'm only on a 4+ save though, so I need to do very well here. And even if I save them all, I could still lose the combat. So let's see. Well, I certainly haven't saved them all. I've taken 4 casualties, which means I lose that combat by a considerable amount.
Oh, I get the high D through.
So 4 casualties, so I'm at -1 to this roll, which takes me down to a 9, which means I fall back 1 full move, which could be enough to take me off the board, actually. Let's have a look.
I think you're just about.
I think you're... Nope, I'm... Ooh.
So this
You're
Just on, okay.
you killed 2 of me.
And are you going to follow up then? Now, I'm popping these guys not quite. They are a little bit further back than that. But I don't want to knock them off. So I'll do my rolls here.
So this is where we're at.
I've got 6 attacks. I'm hitting on 5s because I'm very much shaken. For 1 hit, which does go through. So that was definitely worth doing.
6.
Large units.
And then I was going to say, Dan, I'll just take them off. But no, go on. Let's do your rolls. Now, he physically can't lose this combat. Even if he rolls a 1 on his...
I can draw the combat.
You can draw. But even if he rolls a 1 on his heavy cavalry D3. So... That's a scary sound.
Still
Not great. There's a lot of 6s in there, though. You've either missed or rolled a 6.
That is 5.
Okay, so yeah, it is.
13. That's 5 ones.
Now you know my pain. So 4 up saves. So I failed 2. So I've lost that combat by lots, but I'm testing at -2. And with a 5, that means they are destroyed. And the Austrian Krasiers will get to reform. So we'll come back when that's happened. So having reformed the cavalry over here, we've just got the break test from here. These guys here too, they're at -4. And they roll down to a 5. So they are going to fall back 2 moves.
No, this is a
They'll just go straight back that way. Yeah.
So you've lost by 2, yeah?
Now, do I follow up? If I follow up, my commander is in there. So that could be a bit of an issue. Actually, having just looked at the... No, they're not shaking yet, are they?
No, they've only taken 1.
They've only taken 1 casualty, right, okay. Because if I shake those guys, then that's a broken brigade. I would have to actually get in there and kill them, and I'm not confident that that would be what would happen, though. I can't sweeping advance into those guys because I'm not cavalry. I could do, couldn't I? Yeah. But then you get your closing fire of like 1,000,000 dice at me. I don't really fancy that. Yeah, it's true. I don't fancy it. I think I'm going to advance to keep in contact with you. I think keep my boys safe. So I think that's what we'll do. So I've changed my mind. I decided to turn and face. And the reason, the thing that really sold it to me is this guy is now free to command troops in his own turn. So I think that's going to be more useful, I think. So we're going into French turn 6. This could be the final turn. So we're going to start off. I'm not going to mess around. The Krasier general is going to rally his men. Oh, sorry, his initiative moves first. Yes, of course it is. Do I even have any initiative moves? I don't think I do, to be honest. Oh, yes, thank you, Dan. Well pointed out. Yes, they're going to charge the Austrians.
Possibly those.
Yeah, I think they are as well, yeah. So they're going to charge into the Austrians. So that's an initiative move. In they go. And I'd love to charge with the Krasiers, but unfortunately that's not doable. These guys here.
So in your turn, won it. He's dead. Sorry, he's not dead.
I think actually they are going to initiative move, and they're going to change formation.
Oh, French forming line. Yeah.
So that guy's dead.
There we go. That's it for initiatives.
But I'm only a leadership.
So we'll be back with the yes, as I say, the Krasier general. He is going to rally his troops. So this is going to need to be an 8 or less. And as a 7, that gives them 1 point of stamina back, and that is crucial. What other rallies do we have to do? We've got this commander here. He is going to firstly order this unit here to advance to support those guys. Yes, he is. Thanks to Passage. And he's going to rally. No, he can't rally their first point of stamina off, can he? These guys are disordered, so he's actually going to order this line battalion here to move forward 1 move. He's quite a long way away, so there's going to be a big -6. He's probably going to need a 4 or less. Let's see what I roll. He's certainly going to need lower than a 7, so that's no good over there. Now over here, I actually disengaged him from the combat, so he could order these guys. Now again, they're a long, long way away. Let's see, it could be -2. He's over 16 away, so it's going to be -2. He's going to need a 5 or less, and he's going to order them to turn to face those Krasiers over there. Not on an 8, he's not. I'm tempted to use the C&C's reroll. I'm going to. He's going to need to roll low as well. Yeah, they are in column of march, actually, aren't they? Column of attack, so I'd forgotten about that bonus. But nope, an 11's absolutely no good. So they're staying where they are. That's not handy. That, I think, is probably the end of my turn. Not not great. Let's hope the shooting can. Let's hope the shooting can make up for it. So we're going to start off. This battery of guns here, they're going to fire over the head of their own men into this. They're still in square, are they?
Yeah, well, they're
Right. So they're at -1 for firing over the heads of my own troops, +2 for firing enemy in square. So they're hitting on 3s. So 2 hits, 2 5s there. -2 to the save.
on excess.
Hang on, because
Well, it's immediate from artillery.
oh, is it right? Okay, okay.
Side fire. Excess.
No, well, you're in square.
Landing square.
So, I'm going to fire 3 shots from the guys here.
No idea.
They're going to fire at the same target for no hits. These guys here needing 6s. Oh, cheeky. And he goes through as well. So that was a 6 hit and a 1 to save. That was just a bit of a throwing into nothing, to be honest. And then over here, they can't really fire at anything because these guys are engaged in close. Oh, actually, no, these guys can fire at the Jaegers. They're going to need 6s because it's -1 for being disordered, -1 for firing at enemies in thick woods. 666, you gotta love it! 2 of them. Yes.
Finally, get to the woods. And then, yeah,
The
woods are like, we don't like you.
They do not. The Woods de Toten, I think they're going to be known as from now on. What an absolute. There were clearly booby traps in the woods, or maybe like bears or something. So, yeah, it was nothing to do with the shoot. There was just the drop bears that were in there attacking them. So, 666. Well, it's not often that I roll that, so I'll take that. So combat-wise, we don't have many. We've just got the one over here. So Dan's got some closing fire to do. 4 shots from the Austrians, 5 shots from the Austrians, because they've got their Flintschaft rule. So here comes a big 6. No, 3 hits though. So it's enough. It could be enough to shake me. 1 goes through. So, well, I was perhaps unjustifiably scared about the power of that shooting. Well, that's true. That is true. So the Austrians get to attack with 8 dice. Though. So I mean, you get 13 dice in combat effectively. So I get 6. So you get more than double. I hate Austrians. They're hitting me on 4s though.
When you roll like that, you don't need to.
For only 2 hits. Oh dear. 3 up saves. Oh, another one goes through. So I've only got 1 stamina left on them. 6 stacks back. I could do with 5 of these hitting. I'd take that. I'd be very appreciative. And I get all 5. That's very tasty. So it's 5 4+ saves.
4.
And
No, that's a 3 to 4. So
4 of them go through. So the Austrians lose the combat, and they are 1 excess.
I'm sticking around then.
They stick around, so they will be fighting next turn. So overall, not a great French turn, but not terrible either. I'm taking off a lot of disorders this turn. Let's hope that we don't see their like again. Going. Yes, it will do, because your units are off the table. So let's hope we don't see any more of those disorder markers.
Because they're engaged.
Yes, yeah. Yes, so that's the end of French turn 6. The Austrians, this could be their final turn. Let's see how they can strike back. So, Austrians have done a filthy move of the Krasiers, have charged the flank of my Krasiers over here. Realistically, my guys are in a serious amount of trouble. If I can do 1 casualty, though, then I will stop the enemy cavalry from overrunning this whole brigade, which could be an issue, to be honest. But we've got some shooting to come first. So we can start off in the woods, are we done?
With the words 2 into the front.
Okie dokie. Nothing.
And then 2 into the artillery for nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Get all those low rolls out now.
Building will have 2 back and then 2 into
The infantry. Okay.
the infantry that tries to charge them.
Yep.
So the infantry. 2 hits.
Both saved. Ooh, I should say them for the Krasiers.
Krasiers.
That's the disorder. That's the crucial one. And 1 of them goes through, so they are now shaking again.
Now this is where I screw up the combat. And,
Which means if this unit is now destroyed, because they are shaken, that will be a broken brigade. So,
We'll do the square. We'll do
Yep.
2 and then 2.
okay.
So infantry, nothing.
Not bothered about them, don't care.
Razzias for 1.
Here's another 6. Oh, guaranteed never to fail. The breastplate pings it away.
And then the Jaeger will
I should have shouted for the Emperor, shouldn't I? With the 3 up save.
the Jaeger in front of them.
Yep. They are sharpshooters.
I think so far.
Nope. That's because they know how badass those guys are.
They used it last time.
With their absolute machine gun fire.
And that is in combat.
Okay, so should we start off with that one over there, and then we'll do the main event?
You won last time?
I did. So I've got 6 attacks hitting on 3s. They obviously got rid of all their enthusiasm last turn.
Do the saves now.
One of them goes through, though, so it's not the end of the world.
1 excess.
8 attacks back, though, from the Austrians.
Let's see if I can get better. What was it, 1 last time?
I've got 5 dice ready, so I'm feeling confident for you. All right, okay, I'll get 3 dice ready. Oh, it was more than 5 dice. That's 7. That's some crazy rolling.
They're like, everyone else is screwed off. They're just gaming it out now.
Yeah! Every single one. So it's actually the combat is a draw, but the Austrians are at -1 because they've got 1 excess casualty, but they carry on fighting. So, actually, they might be hitting on 6s because you're a broken brigade as well. But it doesn't matter. You know what? It was worth it for the fun anyway. Now this is the big one. This is the scary one.
Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, go on then. So I do have 10 attacks. I am down to 5, and I'm going to need 5s to hit. Battery. The camera is about to die, so let's see. 5 attacks hitting on 5s for 2 hits. That's pretty good. Can Dan save either of them? He saves them both. So we're going to come back in a second.
I've got them all here.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on camera, but Dan only got 4 hits, of which 3 were saved. So it comes down to the heavy cavalry D3 roll-off. Go on, Dan. Run out of battery quickly. Oh, it's a good 3. And it's a 3 return. So I am shaken though. No, I'm not. Neither of us are shaken.
I didn't.
So it's a drawn combat.
You took a casualty, I didn't. So,
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I lost by 1. They love it anyway. They are going to fall back 1 move. But with that is going to be the end of the game because we are running out of time and we're running out of battery. So that is going to be the end of the game. Unfortunately, as the battle reached its climax, as you hear me say at the end of the video there, the battery on the camera was running incredibly low. So I managed to get a shot of the final turn. We were just wrapping up anyway. And I got a shot of the final turn on my phone. And you can see here in the center of the picture, the Austrian cavalry charged the flank of my Krasiers. They found themselves shaken in the combat, so it meant that they were rather limited what they could do. And that was basically the end of the game at that point. So we looked at the field positions, and Dan and I decided, I think, that it was probably a slight win for the French, which, I mean, it could have been very different. If that whole brigade hadn't disappeared off the table, then who knows what could have happened. But yes, we looked at the battlefield situation, and it was concluded to be a victory for the French. Now, I was thinking I might do an after action report, maybe go through some of the ideas and some of the tactics that we used in this game. If that's something that you would be interested in, then let me know, and we can certainly make that happen. But I want to say thank you very much for watching this battle report all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, no, it was a really good battle. It was nice to throw some dice in because it's been a while, to be honest. So it was good to get the figures back out on the tabletop. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers, and we'll see you then.